Hey guys, just Nat here. I'm sitting here in Shanghai, China. Got the Pearl Tower. Got the old river down here. We got buildings, boats, buildings, birds, buildings, boats, buildings, people, no people, buildings, and just me. And I'm sitting here thinking about my life. And it's going to be a rambling session. So if you want to watch a rambling session about what I'm thinking about right now, stick around. So, anyways, first things first. I'm just sitting here, buzzing out about, or reminiscing about, reminiscing about the past. How this was once a thought of mine. I thought, oh man, Shanghai would be such a cool city to go to. This was right after a video I watched. Shanghai would be an awesome city to go to. It's a super city, and it'll be a great experience, which it is. I've been here for 2 days, staying with a friend of mine, and it's been a cool experience. I've been walking around all day, seeing different parts of Shanghai. We got the big buildings here. We got all this money here in the city. It's crazy amounts of money. We got people who care about style. These are the stereotypes that I heard before I came here. People chase success. You got money in the city. People don't care about each other. They're all what do you call it? Self-absorbed. Which some of those things do seem to be here on the initial sightings of things. But then there's also, I've been walking through little hutongs, or little old shacks and stuff, and how they kind of just dispose of the elderly people into like these little old like Montade's house apartment things, which is, I suppose, what drives the city to want to be successful. So when you're older, you don't go to those places, which is a bizarre combo. We got people wanting to chase success because you get money, and then people want to chase success because they don't want to be in these old shacks and be disposed of when they're older. Not disposed of, but you know what I mean. But yeah, anyway, it's a little bit of a ramble about Shanghai. I'm thinking about my life, actually, at the moment, too. It's turned into one of these days. Pretty much, the main thing that's on my mind is, we got these different sort of outer appearances that I see here in Shanghai. We got all those stereotypes that I just said, which can be true, and it's interesting to look at coming here, and I've had 3 other perspectives on different cities. So I've got Beijing, which is my hometown. Yeah, Beijing represent. Beijing reminds me of home a little bit now, and yeah, it's a cool city. Beijing's more rustic, or like, I don't know if you call it scummy, but it reminds me of New Zealand. How there's a lot of people who care about their life, and they care about not like that, but they care about relationships amongst people, and that's one of the big things in Beijing. It's kind of hard to break through sometimes to get into like a good relationship with people in Beijing, but once you're in there, it's really good, and it's not all about success and money. It's more about like having a healthy relationship with others, one another, and I'm not sure, just having a good time. You know, it's not all like self-absorbed like Shanghai, which is personal preference. So at the moment, I like Beijing. It's my home. It's where I live. And then I also went to Hong Kong, which was cool. That was yesterday. It was a quick trip, but they speak Cantonese there, which was a really, really, really bizarre experience. I don't understand the language, and yeah, just leave it at that. Yeah, but Hong Kong's cool. It's kind of in the middle of Shanghai and Beijing. Like, they got people who care about their status and their outer appearance. And then you got, there's also, you can see people who care about like relationships between one another, which is very, very cool on its own. But yeah, anyway, thinking about my life, with all those three things in mind, how do I want to come across as to other people? I'm not sure how I am now. That will be another talk for another day. But just like how do I want people to see me? That's the main thing at the moment. I feel like I like the feeling of people thinking I'm a good, caring person, but I also do like a bit of success in my life, to be honest, which I don't show at the moment. So if I was to change something about my life at the moment, I would possibly be putting a bit more drive into looking for success and a bit of money, I suppose. Well, money's good, but if you have too much money, you know, you got that outer, not outer appearance, I've said that too many times. You got that sort of, I don't know why, it's like automatic, you're a scumbag. Well, for me anyway, I'm just like, he's got money, he's probably a jerk. He's got money, he's probably a jerk. But that's not actually always true, that's not always the case. But it's just like, if I was to have money, what would I do with it? If I had money coming in, I'm sure I would change as a person, which wouldn't probably be that great, but anyway, next topic. Coming across as to other people, I would personally like to come across as someone who is a lot of fun, and probably more real than a fake person. You know, like you can go out with people, like really good people, really good friends, but they have that sort of like fakeness vibe to them. Like you go out for a drink and they'll be like, "Oh, let's go. I'll smash this guy," or something. Oh, no, that's a bad example, but just like, I don't know, just having that honest, like that truthfulness to me, but also being like real cool. There's a guy that came to mind just now, Jeremy, back in New Zealand. He's a really cool guy. Like, he's honest, he's a good bloke, he's funny, he likes computers, which is similar to me, and I think he is looking for success. So Jeremy is a good role model, I suppose. But yeah, this is a rambling session, so I warned you, but I don't want it to be too long, you know. So I don't know. It's just funny, man. Just funny. I'll probably sit here for a while, write down some notes, jolt down some notes in my notebook about my business. Next year's plan is to really have a good go at this business thing, take it more serious, like, you know, actually spend my time doing business work, not towards the end of my first try we were starting to play games too much, it's fine. Like, I want to be able to play games in my work, but, you know, just have that time where when I'm working, I'm actually working, not just like sitting there mucking around. But I feel like we were working, but we're still learning, and we just need a bit more. We need a bit more skills, I suppose. I'm not too sure. Yeah. Anyway, I'll split the video up and I'll make the next part about my work. Why not? Alright, sick. Cool, so outer appearance, personal preference would be to come across as someone who's approachable, good, fun, kind, and honest. Someone who's honest, caring, loving, and someone who can have fun with, and a bit daring to do things, you know. So I suppose that's what I'd like to be. Not sure. Probably a bit more thought into this later. I suppose some of these things come across from my parents, because this is what I see in my dad, I suppose, and my role model, is like most parents are to their children. But just being that sort of person who can be a friend, but also be fun, and also be there at times of need, and and with a bit of style, I suppose. Yeah. Alright, cool. This is the first session of Nat's Rambles. Alright, catch you later.